couple of weeks since Hulk Hogan was given this position, Dixie Carter approving of Hulk Hogan as the TNA General Manager, and a lot of people and wrestling fans are huge fans, huge marks of Hulk Hogan being the General Manager of TNA Wrestling. Now people are going to jump all over the TNA General Manager position and bring it up to being something similar as to what we have seen in WWE over the last 10 years. The Raw and SmackDown General Manager positions have been a revolving door and taken their turns at being revolving doors, and the General Manager position in the WWE has been compared to TNA's General Manager position. Legends in TNA Wrestling being given the opportunity to be General Managers in TNA Wrestling. In the WWE, we see people like former managers, we see people like former wrestlers be the General Manager, but we don't see as many legends be the General Manager as we do in TNA Wrestling. So that's probably why Hulk Hogan was named the TNA General Manager. He had nothing to do in the way of an in-ring competitor, so they gave him the General Manager position in TNA Wrestling, adding another legend's name to the alumni list of General Managers in TNA Wrestling. It's going to be a couple of months before we see Hulk Hogan do anything different. I see his General Manager position lasting anywhere from 6 to 8 months because of his popularity. Hulk Hogan definitely still sells tickets, and no matter what he does, he gets attention. It could be something as simple as a Rent-A-Center commercial we have seen Hogan do for years, or a movie role from back in the early 90s. Mr. Nanny, the ninja movie he was in. A lot of movie roles for Hulk Hogan gave him a huge reputation and donned him the name Hollywood Hulk Hogan in the days of WCW. No matter what Hulk Hogan did, he got the attention for it. And now with Facebook and Twitter absolutely exploding, Hogan's using his Twitter account, his Facebook account, and the website of TNA Wrestling to let fans know what's going on in TNA Wrestling. He has a lot of things on his mind right now as the General Manager. He's been feuding with a lot of TNA wrestlers over the last number of years. Robert Roode is one of the more recent ones to have a problem with Hulk Hogan. We have seen people from Kurt Angle to Jeff Jarrett have problems with TNA Wrestling General Manager Hulk Hogan. In the past, of course, back in the earlier years of TNA Wrestling, Hulk Hogan came in and did a stunt with Jarrett. We all remember that. We all revisit that one on YouTube. I see something being done with Jarrett and Hogan over the next couple of months, while Hogan is the General Manager of TNA Wrestling, and Sting is definitely going to have a definite role to play in this whole Hulk Hogan scenario, because as we know, this Sting-Hogan match has been teased for years on TNA's website and on TNA programming. We haven't got it yet. We have seen Hogan be involved with Sting for a couple of months in TNA Wrestling. I'm wondering where this is going to go. It definitely opens up a lot of doors for TNA Wrestling, how they can, benefit from this. Definitely the ratings are going to bump up a little bit with Hulk Hogan being the General Manager of TNA Wrestling. The criticism is something you're going to have to watch out for. The written columnists are going to jump all over this. They are going to compare this to similar things Hulk Hogan has done in his career, similar things that WWE has done with the General Manager role. They are going to definitely offer up a lot of criticism for Hulk Hogan. That is one of the negative things TNA Wrestling needs to watch out for. But with Hulk Hogan coming in now as the General Manager, you're also going to see a bump in the ratings, because those same critics that are giving Hulk Hogan a lot of negativity are going to be watching the TNA product, following what Hulk Hogan does, just to find something to criticize Hulk Hogan for doing. And you have the fans of Hulk Hogan who have been diehard fans of Hogan probably since 1986. When Hogan won his first WWE Championship from the Iron Sheik. You have these diehard fans who are going to be watching this to see Hulk Hogan do something very different from what he's done in years past. In my opinion, some of the best years of Hulk Hogan probably came in the early 90s when he was a part of WWE, and he left WWE in 1995 and went to WCW. And of course, we all remember that memorable leg drop on former Mega Powers partner Macho Man Randy Savage when he joined the New World Order at the Bash at the Beach. That was a very turning point, a huge turning point in Hulk Hogan's career, and since then, I think, since he did that, then his career definitely took a turn for the better, because we saw Hulk Hogan competing in his prime. He had some of his best years in WCW, and probably around 2005, 2006, Hulk Hogan still looked to be in pretty good shape, and if he would have become WWE Champion around 2005, 2006, he probably would have been able to carry the company. They gave him the championship in 2002 when he defeated Triple H. They didn't give it to him for very long. He held the championship for about a month just to say he was the undisputed champion of the WWE. I always love seeing legends get over. I definitely believe some of the best years of Hogan's wrestling career were in the 90s. If he were to return to TNA Wrestling right now as a full-time competitor, he wouldn't compete nowhere near the in-ring capability he competed at in 2004, 2005. So it will probably be a while before we see Hulk Hogan be an in-ring competitor for TNA Wrestling, because you have to take into consideration too, a lot of the young stars in TNA Wrestling are just starting their wrestling careers. There is no way possible Hulk Hogan would be able to compete with some of the young stars like AJ Styles and Abyss. He would definitely have to step inside of the ring with someone a bit slower, like Rob Van Dam probably, or someone like Sting, or even Kurt Angle, someone who is definitely at his age range. He wouldn't be stepping inside of the ring with someone like AJ Styles, and if he did step inside of the ring with someone like AJ Styles, he would probably step inside of the ring with someone like AJ to just help him get over, and definitely AJ would be the one who would benefit from the angle with Hulk Hogan. The thing about this is TNA Wrestling know which legends sell tickets and which legends generate the significant amount of attention. It's because of Sting's popularity over the last 25 years that he was the general manager of TNA, and it's because of the popularity of Hulk Hogan that he's the general manager of TNA right now at the present time. I'm very interested in seeing where TNA Wrestling goes with this. I wrote a column about Hulk Hogan being the general manager of TNA Wrestling. You can find it on the website's column archives, and I talked about a lot of things that TNA Wrestling can benefit from Hulk Hogan being the general manager of TNA Wrestling. I also alluded to the fact, no matter if you were a wrestling fan or not, you knew Hulk Hogan for his name and his reputation. You knew him as a movie star, and if not a movie star, you knew him as a guy who sold rent-a-center products, or, as always, a professional wrestler. You always knew who Hulk Hogan was, and now you know him as TNA General Manager. How long this role is going to last for Hulk Hogan, I don't know. If Hogan can return to the ring, probably 6 months from now, if he's back wrestling, he will not be the General Manager of TNA. He'll be feuding with someone like Kurt Angle or Sting, the most likely competitors for Hulk Hogan to step inside of the ring with. I remember seeing Hogan wrestle Kurt Angle in the days of the WWE when he was wrestling for them. Those were great matches. I remember seeing Hulk Hogan wrestle Sting in WCW in the days of WCW when he was wrestling for them. They were great matches. I remember a match between Hogan and Sting from WCW Halloween Havoc many years ago. It was a great match seeing that. Hogan has had many prestigious and career-defining moments. When he turned heel for the first time, something we thought we would never see Hulk Hogan do, joining the New World Order with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall orchestrating the WCW Hostile Takeover, which you can download on many torrent websites to see and revisit on YouTube. Hogan has had many career-defining moments. Do I think this is a career-defining moment for Hulk Hogan, being the general manager of TNA? No, I do not think it's a career-defining moment, because it's just a position of power where he comes out, makes a couple of matches and decisions on the behalf of TNA Wrestling. A lot of people have approved of this, like Dixie Carter. A wonderful person Dixie Carter is to approve of something like this, and TNA management are wonderful people to approve of something like this, but that's all Hogan really does. Comes out, makes a couple of decisions, and makes a couple of announcements on the behalf of TNA management to keep TNA Wrestling under control. When Hogan first arrived in TNA Wrestling, it seemed like Hogan wanted to compete, and because of a back injury, he was unable to do so, and it still seems to me that Hogan has a desire to compete because he has a love for the business that is never going to die. People like Ric Flair had that same kind of passion for the wrestling business. It's been said people like Ric Flair and possibly even Hulk Hogan will die in a professional wrestling ring in some capacity, either a wrestler or under some kind of different role with the organization. Gorilla Monsoon died being known as one of the most honorable competitors inside of the ring and former WWE president in the early 90s. And Hulk Hogan will probably die under some similar capacity, in my opinion, because you either know Hulk Hogan as a wrestler, a movie star, a guy who sold products for different companies, or you just knew him for being Hulk Hogan, the one wrestler you knew of your entire life. There are some wrestlers you knew of without even having to be a wrestling fan. The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair are some of those names that fall within that category, and I think that Hulk Hogan's name will always be remembered and never forgotten in the wrestling industry. I'd hate to be around to see his tribute show when he does eventually pass on, because Hulk Hogan's tribute show is going to be one of the most detailed, probably since Owen Hart's tribute show back in 1999, in my opinion, or even go back further than that, Andre the Giant's tribute show. Hogan's done a lot, but this TNA Wrestling General Manager thing is not a career-defining moment. If you ask me what a career-defining moment was, a career-defining moment for Hulk Hogan would have been when he joined the New World Order for the first time, or he had that match with Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania 5 in Trump Palace, or he had a match with Shawn Michaels in 2005 at that year's SummerSlam and maintained his win streak at SummerSlam. The match he had with Randy Orton was a career-defining moment. The title-for-title match going back as far as 1991 with the Ultimate Warrior WWE title versus Intercontinental title that saw the Warrior do something they never thought that the Warrior would be able to do: defeat Hulkamania and pin Hulk Hogan's shoulders to the mat in an event like WrestleMania, winning both the WWE and Intercontinental Championship and hoisting them both over his head. Hogan has had many memorable career moments, and he is a wrestler who's virtually done everything there is for a wrestler to do. In 1989, Hulk Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant over his head at WrestleMania 3, the irresistible force meeting the immovable object, in the words of WWE Hall of Famer Gorilla Monsoon. Hogan's done it all. There is nothing left for Hulk Hogan to do, even if he did come back to WWE to win the WWE Championship just 10 years after he held it in 2002. He would have no reason for doing it. Even if he won the TNA Wrestling Championship, it's not going to mean much to Hogan's prestigious career because he's done everything. Holding the TNA Championship would mean probably nothing to Hulk Hogan because he's done it all. This general manager role is something I think Hulk Hogan can maintain. If he works hard enough, he will keep it for probably longer than 6 to 8 months. 6 to 8 months is just a speculation on my part as to how long we will see Hulk Hogan in power in TNA Wrestling. He has feuds going on right now with Robert Roode, who is in a huge feud right now with the TNA Championship. He has a huge feud going on with a lot of TNA Wrestling's most known names, and it could lead to Hulk Hogan returning to the ring full time, although it remains to be seen. Our poll for this week's edition of the show is: do you believe